Okay, so here's an update video on the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 Ultra after using it for about 3 months. Let's go ahead and jump in. First things first, let's just get this out the way. This thing has been amazing over the past 3 months, and I have zero complaints so far. Now, generally, when I do these updates, it's solely for the purpose of sharing what my experience has been like using this thing over the past however long it's been. It's not necessarily that I'm doing this because I'm expecting for something major to happen or for a major break to take place here. We know that when these things came out the factory, they were already so good, so much so that, the updates that you get here are things that are just fairly marginal, right? So little bug fixes here or little updates, to do this and that, but nothing to the extent where you should be expecting for me to dive into some major changes that took place between the time I bought the tablet and today. Now, that said, we still do have a few things to talk about. Now, let's keep this video free of any additional crazy in-depth specs, right? So let's just talk about what my user experience has been like using this thing over the past 3 months. And for that, I'm going to give you a little bit more context, and that is the fact that I also own the Samsung Galaxy Tab S8 Ultra that I've owned for we're coming close to 2 years now, right? So 3 months later, I'm going to say that the user experience is fairly similar to what the user experience was like when I was using my Samsung Galaxy Tab S8 Ultra during that same time period, right? So this has been the tablet that I use when I'm in an environment when I could actually use both of my hands, right? Meaning when I'm at my desk, or let's say if I'm in the kitchen doing some work and I put this, have it sit on the kitchen counter then to do some work. It was never meant to be a portable tablet. It's really meant to be a powerhouse for you to come close to use this essentially as a replacement to your laptop. Now, it's not something that could fully, tablets generally don't fully replace laptops, but if one of them can come close to doing just that, it will be the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 Ultra here. Now, to those of you who are artists and who may have bought this because of the extra, the additional screen real estate there, I'm pretty sure you have been enjoying using and taking advantage of that gigantic canvas because there's no other tablet out there that is like this one. But anyway, performance has been top notch, and you may know this already. This guy here is loaded with a Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, and that is comboed with 12 gigs of RAM, and I'm talking specifically about my unit here. You do have access, or you do have another config that is comboed with 16 gigs of RAM, meaning if you were to go for the 1 terabyte one. So I'm looking at 12 gigs of RAM here, and it's been fantastic. It's been plowing through work with no issues whatsoever. One of the things that I appreciate a lot more on the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 Ultra here is the fact that multitasking here is different than multitasking, let's say, on my Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 that I have there, or even the Tab S9 Plus, which already is a large tablet, right? Because you have a lot more screen real estate for you to work on, right? So you could literally split this display in two and it feels as if you have two Samsung Galaxy Tab S9s side by side, right? And it's just more comfortable to work that way. I've also edited a number of videos on here. It's super comfortable to edit here. And the way I've been making editing easy for me when I'm editing on the Tab S9 Ultra here has been by using my Magic Keyboard along with the Magic Trackpad. So I'm more efficient when I edit that way, just the same way I do when I'm editing on my main computer. Gaming has been great also here. I have zero complaints when it comes down to that. Let me just cut this short. When it comes down to performance, whether it be, GPU related, CPU related, whether I'm just doing, navigating the internet or playing games or editing, heavy task, medium task, light task, it doesn't really matter. Using, Samsung DeX, all of that good stuff, I have absolutely zero complaints when it comes out to that. It's doing exactly what I expected it to do. So let's just go ahead and move on to one of the things that you're probably expecting for me to go ahead and cover. That would be battery, right? This thing is loaded with a gigantic battery. We're looking at 11,200 milliamp in terms of the battery size that goes into here. And I can definitely tell you that after this thing learned my habits or the way I use my tablets, battery has been just stellar here. It's been way better than what we have on what we had on the Samsung Galaxy Tab S8 Ultra. And now, of course, that also is because of the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 there. It is super battery efficient. The battery management on that chipset is fantastic. We've seen the great things that it brought to the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, well, I should say to the Samsung Galaxy S23 series. Battery is fantastic on there, and it's doing the same thing here. And you have a lot of those internal hardware that would change or that are different from this tablet, from the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 to the Tab S9 Ultra here to the Tab S8 Ultra. Things that are different, also helping with battery life, helping extend that battery life. So battery life has been fantastic. When it comes down to the camera, of course, still that 13 and 8 megapixel on the back here. These are cameras made for tablets, and in my humble opinion, these are some of the best cameras that I have had to use on the tablet specifically, right? Clearly, if you're using or if you're comparing this to the camera on your phone, the phone definitely has a better camera, but in terms of tablet cameras, these are some of the best ones that I've used to date. The front-facing camera, of course, has also been top-notch. You have two 12 cameras here, one that's wide and another one that is ultra-wide, along with support for auto-framing with this tablet. So, you know, if you have anyone joining the call, if you're on the call, and if someone else were to go ahead and join the call with you, then you'd have the camera automatically adjust to make sure that everyone stays in frame. So the use of the camera has been wonderful as well. Now, you may be wondering what charging is like, you know, especially for a battery this size, but the good news here is that Samsung made this tablet support up to 45-watt charging, meaning that you could definitely go ahead and fast charge the battery here and be back and running in no time. Watching movies has been fantastic. I could definitely tell you that this is my favorite device when it comes down to watching videos, whether it's movies, you know, on the go. Of course, if I need to be watching it on the TV or my projector downstairs, I can do that. But if I need something that is portable for me to watch movie, let's say maybe the kids or, you know, are watching a movie, or the wife is watching something and I want to watch something else on a different display, and even if I want to stay, you know, in the same room with them, this would be the one that I go for without hesitation. I'll definitely go ahead and pick this one up and I'll be ready to go because picture quality is just so beautiful here. And you remember, this is a dynamic AMOLED display here, so different and better than what they had on the Samsung Galaxy Tab S8 Ultra, which was already a very, very good display, right? So this is slightly better, and I really, really enjoy consuming content on that gigantic display, by the way, which is 14.6 inches. In case I've been holding it with one hand and it kind of fooled you, this is 14.6 inches. So a huge display for you to truly enjoy, you know, consuming content on here. And still speaking of consuming content here, the speakers, you have a quad speaker setup here tuned by AKG. Sound quality or audio coming out is very crisp. It's actually louder than what was coming out of the Samsung Galaxy Tab S8 Ultra, but I did my battle video, so you probably saw that already. So sound quality is really, really good here, and you can truly get to enjoy watching a movie here without even your headphones or your earphones on. You can literally just use the speakers here and still enjoy consuming content. Another thing that is new with this tablet, of course, compared to that of last year, is the fact that it is dust and water resistant. Now, that said, I'm not going to advise for you to go ahead and test it out like I did, right? I'm not going to tell you to go ahead and dump it in a pool of water like I did. I was doing that just so that you can get to see it, so that you don't have to do it, right? The S Pen has been just excellent. Essentially what I've always expected from an S Pen, the same top-notch user experience that I've had on other, you know, Samsung flagship devices when it comes down to that Samsung S Pen is what I've had here. Obviously with the S Pen edition or special edition or creator edition, whatever they call it, I personally haven't had a chance to play with that just yet, but I'm sure a lot of artists out there can really appreciate what it has to offer. But I can already tell you that to the average consumer, you don't need that. You know, just what you bought that came with this tablet, you should be just fine. You don't need any extra super hyped up pencil out there. So overall, this thing has been, I'm even gonna say, boring. Boring in a way of saying nothing bad or crazy that could create some level of controversy came up for me to share with you. The only thing that I can share with you is just that it's been good. And it's a very good thing to appreciate the fact that the battery is so good, especially with the addition of the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 there, you know. So with the Samsung Galaxy Tab S8 Ultra, I was getting pretty close to 6.5, I'm gonna say. 6.5, you know, SOT time. Here, I'm getting about 7.5, closer to 8, you know, in terms of SOT time. And of course, that all depends on the type of usage, right? So just because I'm getting close to 8 doesn't mean that you will get 8, depending on the type of power user that you are. But I can tell you that it is fantastic battery time, especially when it comes down to something like this, right? This type of tablet, although it's the only tablet in its category. But anyways, so that's just my take with that. Do you have any questions or any things that you think I should go ahead and go ahead and test out with this tablet here that I may have missed maybe with this review or the past reviews? Let me know in the comment section. Did you pick up this tablet? Are you considering picking up this tablet? Also, let me know in the comment section. I would like to go ahead and connect with you so we could get that conversation going. Make sure to like this video and share with anyone you know who is in the market or who is considering picking up this tablet here. Make sure to subscribe also if you haven't done so already. So like, subscribe if you haven't done so already. I'm going to catch you in the comment section like I just said. I'm also going to catch you in the next video. Up until that next video, of course, as always, stay safe out there.